Welcome to the Multi 3 vodcast. My name is Suhan.
I'm John.
I'm Mazz.
This week we're going to be filthy casuals like we are, tell you a little bit about how we like to play and how others like to play outside the competitive scene at a local gaming store. Let's get started.
Multi 3 is Australia's third best Magic the Gathering podcast, and we need your help to keep it that way. So we need you to subscribe to us on YouTube and on iTunes. We're going to start, as we always do, with our segment, Whispers of the News.
So a couple of weeks ago, there was a big Legacy tournament in Brisbane, which we forgot to mention last week.
Sorry guys.
It's domestic news.
So there was a Black Lotus on the line, pretty big prize. What ended up happening was the top four split $900 each, or no, split four times that, $900 each.
Wow.
And the winner in the end, they played it out, was none other than Sean Brown.
OG?
Yep, so the inventor of Legacy in Melbourne.
And also notable because he's part of the Salt Mine podcast as well, which is a really big Legacy podcast.
Big ups.
Talking about Sean and Melbourne Legacy, for any Melbourne viewers out there, in November 16, there is the 2-year anniversary of the Thursday Night Legacy in Melbourne. So there's going to be some pretty big prizes, or a prize or two. So make sure you come down that Thursday. It's November 16.
We'll all be there.
We're going to be there. Join us.
And also I should mention Mark, marketing guy, did really well at the tournament as well, so props to him.
Attaboy. All right. The next thing that we want to talk about in the news is World Championships. Ixalan is out in full force, and we got to see a bit of the format on MTGO/Moto as well. And it came down to, I believe his actual name is, it's not Huey Jensen, but his name is William Jensen. Took out first place. I think he was running Teamer Energy, I believe. Yeah, it should be the top four broke down into two blue-black control, with the Scarab God kind of rolling out, which is really good. Ramanat Red was, I think Josh Layton was running black-blue as well. And then Ramanat Red staying on top. And Teamer Energy taking the top prize. I think it was 100,000. That's the biggest purse in Magic, so it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So some serious wins going on.
So Worlds is basically like a pro tour, but it's the pro tour of the year, right? So it's like a world championship.
Big stakes, big names, yeah. The stream was kind of interesting. I didn't get to catch much of it this time. It was quite good results. Standard's going to be shaking up nice and interestingly.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, cool.
Next thing we're going to talk about is quickly update everyone on what's been happening in the story of Ixalan. So, just to bring people up to speed, a quick summary of some of the early stuff. Jace ended up marooned in a desert island. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know who he was. He had no idea what was happening. He tried innately to planeswalk away, but got stuck. And this huge symbol was holding him on the plane. Mysterious. He later sort of went Robinson Crusoe everywhere and started building weapons and getting to know the dinosaurs.
That's kind of cool.
And eventually he bumped into none other than Vraska, the pirate, who knew a little bit about his identity. We then cut to the Aztec world, where it's not actually Aztec, but it basically is, where there's the warrior poet,
Huatli,
riding around on dinosaurs, and you find out there's a bit of conflict there between them and the vampires, and also the pirates as well. And she meets another planeswalker who's a Minotaur pirate, and then she tries to planeswalk away. Boom! The glyph holds her in place as well, and she doesn't get away. What sort of happened after there, John?
So then we're introduced to the merfolks. They're talking about they're trying to protect their ancient city. And then after that we go back to the pirates. So there's basically four factions. There's the humans with the dinosaurs together, the pirates, which are non-vampires, and we've got the vampires who are also in boats, and you've got the merfolks. So all the factions are looking for the lost city, and we're not sure what's in there. There's a big thing called the Immortal Sun. We're not sure what it's about, but we know Nicol Bolas, he's not actually in the set, wants Vraska to find it.
Interesting as well, Huatli, when she first tried to planeswalk away and her spark was ignited in the fight with the Minotaur, saw Kaladesh and thinks that is the Golden City. So who knows what's going to happen. Pretty exciting stuff though.
Cool.
Probably the last thing to mention in the news as well is that Wizards has recently, today, announced that they have a new logo. The last doesn't doesn't care. The last logo was Magic. Magic has a new logo. The last one was in 2015, and it had carried on for many years the classic design, but the new one is the one that we saw in Origins that had a lot of Planeswalker representation with the Planeswalker logo on it. John didn't seem to.
You can express your opinion. You have 10 seconds.
I don't like it.
Good, done. Case closed.
I think the big part of that news is the card backs are not going to change.
Yes.
So that's the most important bit, so you should be happy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's do it.
Not that we can see our card backs, we will use sleeves.
Yeah,
Exactly.
fair enough. As you can see in this deck here, from which we're going to draw for the Mulligan, which is our main topic. So the first one, here we go, is, as you know, today we're talking about filthy casual. So let's talk about tiny leaders.
No.
No,
Not interested.
No.
Boring.
No opinion. Don't care.
Dead.
Not fun enough.
Okay,
No.
cool.
I believe it's a much hated format.
Okay, not as good as Real Commander.
No.
Frontier.
I kind of like it, but I feel like Wizards never took it up, so Wizards have already mulliganed that.
I think it's racial. It was a Japanese term for format.
Sure,
But
okay.
It's always racial.
Go on, done.
Thirdly, let's try again. Okay. Third time's a charm, they say. An overview of casual magic.
Sounds like a good topic.
I'll keep that.
I think we can work with that.
We'll keep this one. So what we're going to talk a little bit about today is how we have noticed that a lot of people that play Magic don't play in the local gaming store as we do, and don't always play competitively or within the sanctioned format, so to speak. So we wanted to dabble into kind of ask the question: what do people do to play Magic? Why do these Planeswalker decks actually keep selling? Does anyone buy these things? We weren't really sure, so we kind of looked into what people do. Just note, as we were kind of joking about, we're going to stay away from formats. We know there are things that are quite popular, like Highlander and Cube, that people really do enjoy. We're not going to talk about that too much today.
And things that are unpopular, like Tiny Leaders and Frontier.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
So we're going to start a little bit about how different styles of play. And so I want to ask John to kind of talk about the whole concept of kitchen table magic, which is quite specific, isn't it?
So kitchen table magic is basically the most casual magic you can. Basically, it's just you get whatever cards you have, maybe from boosters, maybe from the 10-cent box, just like, and you just make a deck. It was really how we got into Magic. So we did get pre-constructed decks, which are standard, but then we just found cards through how we found cards, and we made a deck and we played on the kitchen table, which was actually the bedroom floor for us. But
Yeah.
So you did buy a sealed kind of pre-constructed deck?
yeah, but
just
we
like
had
the
no
Planeswalkers deck.
conception of what standard was at the
okay.
time, and I assure the people that buy the product, they're buying standard product, but it's not for standard. It's just what they got their hands on, and so if you got a card that was 20 years old, you'd play that with your like 20-week-old
Okay.
card.
It's quite different, yeah, but that's kitchen table.
So there's no like restrictions, but that's like the most basic kitchen magic.
And it was cool because I think at a standard FNM I saw a pretty young player who essentially bought a Planeswalker deck and then just jammed in whatever booster stuff he could put in. It was,
Good on him.
fine. I
Good on
mean,
him.
look, it's not going to perform well, but he's learning, he's young, it's great. I think it was a good way to start.
Let's move on to some multiplayer.
Okay.
Different ways to play.
So what we also noticed is that there are kind of Wizards endorsed and product pushed ways to play in different ways. Arch Enemy is the newest way with the whole Nicol Bolas thing coming around, which is one player against three that grants an advantage to one person. There's also Two-Headed Giants, which some people play in pre-release, where it's 2v2 and a shared life total. But there's also things like that are kind of truly casual in the sense, like when you play Commander, normally it's 1v1v1v1, it's free for all, but some people have developed ways to make teams or secret partners, as they say, and some people are like the rogue lone person or the trader.
Or it's just like sort of like kitchen table, but it's at the lunchtime in the library or something. You're playing, instead of someone's going to get left out, everyone just plays at the same time. And
Yeah.
you kill people if you want to, and you make alliances and you backstab them, just stuff like that.
And the best thing about that, I think, is that sometimes even Commander used to be something like that.
Yeah.
And it's developed into a massive format that Wizards actually pushes and puts on MTGO and all sorts of things.
And rebranded.
And rebranded. It used to be called Elder Dragon Highlander.
Or
EDH.
Or EDH, exactly. The next little subtopic that I wanted to cover is genuine house rules, which is a little different from multiplayers and types of like interactions of play. But house rules are more to do with things you do to tweak it around. So the example again is Arch Enemy or Plane Chase, which is there in the Nicol Bolas product on. I'm shilling product. But now you can change the conditions of the game to have the rules change on a regular basis. That's what Planes Chase is about. The other thing that I wanted to kind of mention is things like, I think Commander in the podcast developed this interesting thing through one of their players in their play group where if you know about infinite combos in Commander, which happen a lot, they cap it at 5. So if you take infinite turns, you just take 5 turns.
And some Commander people play with a point limit, where you can have certain really powerful cards, but only if they're within a certain amount of points as well. Yeah.
And that's how this Highlander kind of works that way. I know we didn't want to talk about that, but it does work like that as well. Mazz, did you want to talk about a couple of quirky little things that I call kind of head scratchers, just briefly? Would that be okay?
So a few unusual ways to play Magic that have been made up by people that haven't been adopted by Wizards. The two ones we're going to talk about both involve having a central tower of cards that you play from. The first one's called Mental Magic, and it's a central tower and you draw from it. And the cards that you use, you can either use as a Utopia, which is a land that can give you any mana, or you can play the card and you look at its converted mana cost, say its converted mana cost was 2, you then play it for the converted mana cost for any other card with a converted mana cost of 2. So it really tests your brain and lets you think of a lot of different combinations of cards. It's pretty fun. There's another one called Judge's Tower. John?
Yep, so Judge's Tower is similar to Mental Magic in the sense that there's one deck that everyone draws from, but instead of trying to have to think about cards and playing them, the rules of Judge's Tower is you are not allowed to miss triggers. If you have a card and are able to play it, you have to play it, and if you don't do these things, you lose. And the Judge's Tower itself are filled with cards with really weird interactions. So it's about like testing the players' like Magic like experience and knowledge about the rules, basically. So,
is there a time limit for that kind of thing? Like, do people put like an hourglass into it? That would be crazy.
I'm not quite sure, but generally when I've played or seen people play, the games go quite quickly because people aren't really concentrating. I haven't seen serious Judge Tower play, but it's just like someone loses pretty soon.
And the cards are usually pretty difficult cards. They're specifically put in there to be tricky and make people trip up.
I think it was probably invented by judges
to practice and stuff like that because they want to get better. That's pretty damn cool. Awesome.
There's another game that we're going to talk about. It's a booster game, and Suhan's going to introduce the concept to us.
So I learned this game oddly quite recently. I was at the recent pre-release, and my friend Elliot introduced me to the idea of pack wars. So my other friend Matt Brown and I did this, and so we had 2 stray packs. We knew that we couldn't draft anywhere with fewer than 3, and so instead of just cracking the cards and seeing what you get, I was taught how to play pack wars. So this is the second time I'll ever be playing pack wars. So
and we're going to demonstrate that for you today.
So the way it goes apparently is that you crack your pack, you don't look at it. You don't look at the cards inside yet. You shuffle it as if it were a deck. Like that. There we go, chuck it aside. I think tokens can go away.
Yeah, it's probably safe.
And you play as if you have unlimited mana, but you draw just one card as if this is your deck, and you play till someone wins. So you just play the creatures on the battlefield as if you had perfect mana.
And John and Suhan are going to play each other out. We're going to try to make it a quick game, and I'm going to do a little bit of commentation.
Okay, there we go.
Mike, you're the judge. Who goes first?
And because Suhan's played before... Okay, paper, scissors, fine.
Good. Well, paper, scissors. Okay, you go first.
Okay. So I draw a card and I play it. So I'm going to play a Queen's Bay Soldier, who is a 2-cost 2/2.
Okay. I'm going to choose to keep, and I'm going to draw a card. And I'm going to cast Prosperous Pirates.
Okay.
3/4, I get, let's assume that I have 2 tokens.
Okay.
2 treasure tokens. But it doesn't matter because I got perfect mana anyway. Go.
I play another 2-cost 2/1. And he has flying as long as I control no merfolk.
Okay.
Not looking good for John.
Not looking great. Okay. Here we go. I'll attack with Prosperous Pirates.
No blocks.
No blocks. He turns to 17. Awesome. Ixali's Diviner. I'll explore. Show the top. Suncrown Hunters on the top, please. It's a 1/4. Go.
1/4. Okay.
So the field is a 2/2 and a 2/1, and we have a 3/4 and a 0/3.
I'm going to play Dinosaur. It's a 3/2 within range.
Got it.
I gain 2 life.
Yep.
And so it's a 1/4.
Yep.
Great.
Go. Good.
Alright, cool. I'll play my Suncrown Hunters.
We saw that coming.
Which is a 6-drop 5/4 enrage that deals 3. Sorry, I forgot to untap. And I'll go in again with my Pirates.
So
it's a 3/4.
3/4. 3/4. 3/4. I'm gonna double block.
Double block?
Yeah.
That's fine. We will trade all the things.
Yeah.
All of them die. Okay, cool.
The board is simplified and Suhan is still winning.
Your turn, go.
I have that.
That's not very helpful. I can see the card.
I'm going to pass my turn.
Guys,
Go.
okay, to me.
This is actually kind of fun. Like I would actually
This is
enjoy
so
playing
fun.
this.
I'm not having much fun.
Water Trap Weaver. I'll targeting this dinosaur. Tap it, doesn't untap. Swing in for 6.
Oh boy.
So
11.
Yep, my turn.
Yep.
11, 20.
Doesn't untap.
Doesn't untap.
Board state, no board state.
Okay, I'm going to play 2/2 Lifelinker. I'm on the mono bear booster pack here.
John Grizzly
Go.
Bears Atkins.
I do play D&T and L, so this is...
I'm gonna play my land. Whatever. It's like perfect land.
That's an equalizer.
Okay, 1, 2. You're always bad when I'm counting.
Attack!
I'm gonna go. Oh, what do you have?
Attack!
I'm gonna go in for 7.
7? No
Yep,
box.
no blocks. You're down to
Good
4.
call. My
Oh,
turn.
wow,
Yep,
okay.
go.
John needs to pull something out.
Oh, you can untap this.
Like he just drew a really bomb card.
Yeah.
It's a 1/1 for life.
Oh.
No, 1/1 for 3.
No haste. Can't rummage. No.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my... There you go. Also going to cast this Much of the Drown.
What are you gonna get
I'm
back?
going to get back the... Do I have a Merfolk? I don't have a Merfolk.
No.
I'm going to get back the 2/2.
So
You're
John
gonna
just
cast
this
responds
vampire.
to the 2/2.
Cool.
Last
Untap. Here we go.
So I'm going to have to start jumping now.
Oh
This-
man,
this
you
could
guys
go
gotta
out.
see what I got here.
Do it, quick.
So you're down to 4, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, then I
For
will.
life. 20 life.
I'm gonna hijack your bishop.
Snap.
What does that do?
It takes it till the
Gain
end of the
control
turn.
until end of turn.
Yep.
I'll go to attacks.
Yep.
Swing with all the things.
All the things. Okay, so I'm going to block.
Quick attack.
Any tramples? No.
No.
So that's mine, isn't it? Oh dear. So I'm gonna block the 2/2 with my 1/1.
It's fine.
That's why is my stuff so bad?
No one's drawn their bomb
I'm
card.
gonna
I just want someone to draw
I'm gonna
a
double block the
Double block
5/4.
that one?
So I'm
Okay,
gonna take
cool.
3. Does it deal
It
to
deals-
target players
Huh?
or to target opponents?
It's to you.
Well, I'm just dead. Okay.
You're dead, you're dead.
Go scoop. Let's get it. Good game.
I win.
Okay, that was pretty fun. I hope that was enjoyable for the viewers.
enjoyable for me.
Let's
That's
see what
for
we got
sure.
for our rares.
Yeah.
Just in case. This is it.
Hey!
Oh, and I got Admiral Beckett Brass, which is horrible in
We got
standard.
Pirate Lord.
But it could be good for a commander if you feel
And
like
I got
playing Grixis.
Deep Root Champion.
Yeah.
Is it
You
good?
can't say that.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's a Merfolk Shaman.
Yeah.
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter.
I guess the bottom sort of line there is that was a pretty quick format. I think that was a really good way to use
fun.
2 booster packs.
Right?
It was a bit one-sided, but had he had a bit more life, I feel like John could have turned it around a little bit. So it's an interesting way to play it. I'd be interested to know if people mill out if they run out of cards.
Oh, if you mill, you mill.
You mill.
You mill. It's
Cool.
over, yeah.
Mill is probably a very effective strategy. Let's move on. So that was a quick little booster game. We have another game that we want to try today as well. It's a game that I invented on Friday last week. And the reason we're doing this show tonight is because I invented this game. We got really excited about it and we wanted to talk about casual ways of playing. It's called Nut Draw. How Nut Draw works is it's a game that doesn't require you to have a deck with you. You can be anywhere. You can be on the tram, you can be at a pub waiting for some friends, as Suzanne and I were the other day.
Yeah, that's how
you
we
can
came
be on a plane, you can be in a long distance relationship talking through a phone.
So
you can
romantic.
be anywhere. It's a very romantic game.
It feels.
And how it works is that you pick a deck that you have, and your opponent picks a deck that you have, one that you know in your mind, or you can look it up on the internet. It can even be a net deck. It just has to be a deck. They should be from the same format, so both Legacy, both Modern, both Standard, whatever works. And then you basically just play a game in your mind with each other. It's called Nut Draw because you choose the cards that you have. The first 7 cards that you draw, you entirely choose. The first 7 cards that your opponents draw,
I know it's
they entirely choose. Whenever you draw a card, it's whatever you want it to be. Now, at the start of the game, you don't pick each of the 7 cards. You pick them as you play them. So on turn 3, you might have 5 cards left in your hand, and each one of those cards is whatever you need it to be. So this is a game where these decks are overpowered. They're playing like crazy, and they always have the answers that they need as long as they're within the deck list. There's a few weird things. Something that isn't weird is that card advantage is important. You might not think it would be, given that anything's anything, but card advantage is a really big thing. Disruption, like Inquisition of Kozilek or Thoughtseize, those kind of things don't really work very well, because when you use them on your opponent, sure, they lose a card, but they haven't selected what the cards are yet, so you don't actually get to get rid of their best card. Their best card is still to come. Another thing that's interesting is tutors. Tutoring cards are not very helpful. Searching for stuff is irrelevant because you already do it. But the beauty of this game is, all these cards, you just don't draw them. So you only draw the cards that are relevant. You don't draw the
It
Inquisition.
took me a minute to pick up on them. I'm like, oh, duh. Then I just get the better card later. It's fine. I just did it.
The Jack Chickens approach. Just draw it.
So every draw is a top draw, every hand's a nut hand, and it's a really fun way to play. Suhan and I are going to demonstrate this now with a couple of our modern decks. Suhan, what's your deck?
Eldrazi-Tron, so it's a pretty common deck. There are some variants of it, but it's a great deck, and it's been doing very, very well for me on Moto. I'll be streaming soon.
My deck is a deck that's similar to one that I showed previously. It's called Mill to 3. It's a modern mill deck. However, my old one was a burn style deck. This one is a combo style deck with a new card from Ixalan that you will hopefully find out if things go my way. Now, you can look for both of these decks on our tapped out. They'll both be there, so you can check to make sure that we're playing right. And John is also going to be acting as a judge to make sure nothing goes wrong.
There'll be a lot of slow play goals here.
I feel like we should scissors, paper, rock to see who goes first.
No, I thought have we not established? We can do scissors, paper, rock.
Okay. Right. Scissors, paper, rock. Looks like I'm going first. Alright, so my first turn,
Would you like to call the
I'm
judge?
going to play an island. I'm going to play an island from my hand, so I have 7 cards in my hand. I'm down to 6. I'm going to play an island, and then I'm going to play a head-drawn crab. Okay. Which is a 0/3, then every time a land comes into play, he has to mill 3 cards.
Okay.
I'm going to pass my turn.
7 cards, I draw for turn, I play Urza's Mine, pass the turn, go.
Okay,
Actually,
my turn.
Sorry. Relic of Progenitus, go.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you say you're 2
Actually,
cards
wait a
down.
minute. No. I'm gonna go back. So no. I'm gonna play Pipping. No, that's in my sideboard. Relic of Progenitus, go.
So what Suhan's struggling with here is you want to play as much as you can, but you also want to conserve your card advantage because it's really important. Okay, my turn. I'm going to play, I've already got a head-drawn crab on the field. I'm going to play another head-drawn crab from my hand. I drew a card as well, so I'm still on 6. And then I'm going to play a polluted delta, and Suhan's going to mill 3. Then I'm going to pay 1 life, fetch with the polluted delta, and get a swamp. Suhan's going to mill, an island. I'm getting an island. Suhan's going to mill another 3. And then I'm going to play another head-drawn crab. So now I have 3 head-drawn crabs on the field. Suhan just milled 3 for the first head-drawn crab, and then another 6. It's a lot of cards. Anyway, let's keep
9
going.
cards all up.
Something like that.
And I'm
Let's keep going.
Draw another card for the turn. I will play.
12 cards, yeah.
I'll play Urza's Tower. That's 3.
Okay, so now's my 3rd turn. I draw a card. I'm back on 6.
On your upkeep, I Warping Whale one of your head-drawn crab.
Okay, sure. Head-drawn crab's dead. Now, this is something I'm really excited about. Suhan doesn't see this coming because he can't remember what the card is. This is a new card in Ixalan. It's called Field of Ruin.
Oh no!
I'm putting it on the field.
I gave you that card!
It's a non-basic land that lets you pay 2 and tap it to kill one of your opponent's non-basic lands. And then they have to, each player searches their library for a basic and puts it into play. I'm going to play Field of Ruin. Suhan's going to mill 6 because I had 2 head-drawn crabs on the field.
Yes.
You got 1 now.
I had 3. I had 3.
You had 3, we played all.
So he's going to mill 6 for 2. And then I'm going to activate it, targeting one of his Urzas, whichever one's bigger. I don't care. So one of his Urza's lands dies. And now we both search our libraries. I find another island. I put it in play. Do you find a basic land?
I have to.
If you don't have one, do you have one?
I do have a basic land.
Okay, he finds a basic land, he puts it into play. I'm going to go to my second main. I'm going to attack with my head-drawn crabs now. I've got at least 4 cards in my hand, and guess what? They're all archive traps. So I just basically milled his entire library. And that's how Nut Draw works. There's another variant called Nut Draw Unlimited, where you pick a format, so you pick Standard, Legacy, or Modern, and then you're not bound to a deck, and you just pick whatever cards you want. It's really fun, it's really intense though. That's Nut Draw.
You know what? I'm gonna change things up a bit and say, oh no, what's happening with our music?
Difficulties.
No! I was gonna say, what is the deal with Mazz rigging to his advantage?
We may have talked beforehand about me going first.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, those things are kind of simple.
Technical difficulties. Bow, 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 bow. You get the point.
For some reason.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. So thank you very much for watching and listening this week. Please like, subscribe both on YouTube or just subscribe and review on iTunes if you're listening through our audio means. Also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and check out our decks on Tapped Out. We will see you next time for our next episode.
We hope you had as much fun as we did.
We obviously had a great time. I'll see you then.